10,000 steps a day, is that myth true? If it is, how do I get it when I have a desk job? And is upping my walking equivalent to cardio, or am I just gonna lose all my muscles? Today, we're gonna get to the bottom of it. I had a realization recently. You might be like, Kelty, why do you do all these challenges? And I realized it. I've been doing them since a little girl. Because I have a group chat with my entire family and we're doing a step challenge. And so I thought, hey, I do so many challenges with my family and I never film them for YouTube. And I do so many YouTube challenges and I never associate my family. So yeah, fun fact, me and my family are always doing like a push-up challenge or something random. And I realized, core memory, we would go to the lake with my mom. And what would she do? 6-year-old survivor. Jump into the lake, get a rock, and first person to bring it back gets a popsicle. And that's how I was raised. It is in me. This is what I do. I don't know, like I wouldn't have YouTube. I'd still wind up doing these with my family. So I thought, let's document it because I cannot lose to my mother. It is day number 1 of the step challenge. I'm gonna walk to the gym, do a workout, walk to the office, walk on my lunch break. Let's go with starting walking to the gym. And just my luck, starting off this challenge and it's rain, which puts a really damper. But as someone who lives in Vancouver where it's always raining and Sweden where it's always cold, it really does come down to gear. And I will give my best tips later in this video of how to properly dress for different seasons and my favorite shoes. Ironically, during my workout, I only got like 500 steps. So the thing that's gonna set me back from winning this challenge is my workouts. I was at 10,000 this morning. I went on a walk during my brunch break and I've been absolutely crazy. I have a facial way on the other side of town. So I decided to walk instead of Ubering and I could really regret this. Okay, 10,000 steps. What could be some of the benefits from walking that many in a day? 1, improve cardiovascular health, especially if you're doing hills at a decent enough fast pace that you're almost in zone 2. 2nd, weight management. For a lot of people that have very sedentary jobs, it is very hard to maintain your weight because your energy expenditure is so low. By making sure to have that 10,000 steps a day is just increasing your energy expenditure, which is just allowing you more food to eat in a day, which for a lot of people who struggle with weight management can really help them. 3, bone and joint health. It's not going to be as great as the weight-bearing exercises, but yes, walking is impact on your joints and bones, which can help with bone health long-term. There's plenty of studies that say there's a reduced risk of chronic diseases such as type 2 diabetes, cancers, and dementia if you're walking, if you're more active, but there's none that's specifically linked 10,000 steps to reducing these. And mental health. It helps reduce stress and anxiety. It can improve your mood and just a mental clarity. When I have 1,000 thoughts racing in my head, nothing cures it like going for a walk. Some other ones is it's shown to improve sleep, improve energy, and it's an accessible and affordable way to do all of these things. But you can't really link those things specifically to 10,000 steps, which we'll talk about later on. How many steps you should actually be doing.
An hour later, we're sitting at 29,000. All it took was full walk to the gym, full workout, full walk to work, walk at lunch, and a full walk across town. I've been off way more than I can chew. I can do this for a day. A month? Oh no.
And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how many steps this is gonna be. Right now, I'm like, okay, could be 15, but also my mother has a lot of time to walk in the day and she has the cutest dog on earth, Millie.
Well, go get it. There you go.
That she's gotta walk. So I think I'm gonna have to be in the 20, 30,000. I don't know if I'm gonna have to go up to 40, 50. This is not gonna be the healthiest challenge. I'm not saying do this, but sometimes your family does wacky stuff and it seems entertaining and I am determined because I work a desk job, unlike some of these other people. They can spend all day walking their dogs. My boyfriend is a professional athlete. Yes, he cannot be wearing a Fitbit on the ice, but you know, he should get something in there. I can't lose these. Most of my day is spent on the computer editing. So I'm gonna find a way of how I can get these 20, 30,000 steps in a day while working a desk job to get these tips for you guys. 2, I'm gonna see what happens if I do 20, 30,000, maybe even more steps a day for a month. How is this gonna change my life? Is it gonna make me fitter? Is it gonna make me lose all my gains? Am I actually gonna have the time for all this? I have so many questions and we're gonna find out. I'm gonna be a guinea pig for you guys. And moral of the story is I'm gonna beat my mother at a step challenge. Oh my God, are my legs sore? And I've only done 1 day of this. Week 1 of this challenge and I apologize that I was just miserable. I blame seasonal depression and the lack of sunlight. Vitamin D is important. And I'm through many podcasts, 2 audiobooks, much music, and I'm just getting bored. But at the same time, going on a long walk is creatively fulfilling, but also I'm kind of like bored of always these creative ideas, and it's just a lot of stepping. My feet starting to hurt. Ooh. And I'm starting to run out of time. I think this is the biggest thing, is this is doable to get this many steps in a day, but my whole morning is stepping. My lunch break is stepping. After work is stepping. I want a social life. Also, I'm getting exhausted, so getting time for my workouts is getting to be a challenge. Here comes the sun. Do, 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 do. Day 3, and the rain will not go away. And I'm realizing all my rain gear is old, and eventually it loses its waterproofness, so my feet are soaked. I'm slowly getting soaked. And walks are good for my mental health. My mental health isn't thriving today. Am I hungover? Yes. The fresh air is nice. Cured the hangover, but I'm bitter. I just want sun. Why do I choose challenges in the worst seasons? Like, the sun's out and it's raining. False marketing. I made a mistake. I'm walking to my morning Pilates class. Definitely late. Normally I'd Uber, but no. If I don't walk here, there's no way I'm getting 30,000 because I gotta get a lot of my walking in the morning, lunch, and after work today. So we're just going. This is barely a walk. This is a slow pace run. I'm tired. First lesson from all this stepping. I'm bored. I'm bored. Also, the New Balance 9060s, 30K easy. They're so good. They look really stupid in a lot of pairs of jeans though. So far, the challenge has been kind of easy. Not physically, but time-wise. But I've been get up at 5, walk to the gym, workout, walk to the office, lunch break, walk. All meetings, walk. After work, walk. I have no social life. I'm doing nothing but work and walk in, but it's done. It's gonna be a little tricky the next few days because it is pure rain. So before and after work, when it's just pouring rain, I gotta carry like tech, camera gear, laptops, hard drives. They don't want to get wet. I think I'm gonna pull out the walking pad if it rains today, which is kind of a cheat code. My 3:52 a.m. morning routine.
Jokes aside, that is indeed not my morning routine, just chronically online jokes. But what is a part of my morning routine every single day, and it has been for the last 5 years, is drinking AG1. Because it's how I get my vitamins and minerals, prebiotics, probiotics, and superfoods. But I got something exciting. This month, they're releasing AG1 Next Gen. So we have an upgraded AG1 formula I want to tell you guys about. The improved benefits: it has improved gut health. It has 5 new strains of clinically studied probiotics that have been shown to play a role in supporting digestion, immune function, and alleviate bloating. For energy, AG1 Next Gen contains enhanced B vitamin complex to support your energy without the afternoon crash. Daily nutrients: even the healthiest of eaters can have nutrient gaps. We can't eat every single thing every day. AG1 Next Gen contains more vitamins, minerals, and nutrient contents than ever before, and it's clinically shown to fill in common nutrient gaps. Now is the best time to give AG1 a try. They've also updated the travel packs with the new formula and the chic new packaging. Get started with AG1 Next Gen for less than $3 a day when you subscribe. Just head to the link in my description or scan the QR code. You also get $76 of free extras when you subscribe, including 5 AG1 travel packs, a shaker, a bottle of vitamin D3K2, and a metal container. Thank you, AG1, for sponsoring this video. The myth of 10,000 steps. This first originated in the 1960s in Japan by the company Yamasa Clock that started selling its first pedometer. It was a marketing campaign, as is everything. They came up with a catchy name, Mampo-meter. Mampo in Japanese means 10,000. So yeah, it was just a marketing campaign and it stuck around. But there also seems to be something to it. For example, the scientists from the University of Sydney and University of Southern Denmark studied 78,500 adults in the UK between 2013 and 2015. What they had to do is they wore an activity tracker for 24 hours for 1 week, recorded their steps and pace, then they looked at their health outcomes 7 years later. Here's what happened to the people that got 10,000 steps a day. Lower risk of dementia by 50%, risk of cancer lowered by 30%, and cardiovascular deaths lowered by 75%. The study also showed that faster pace was associated with even further benefits, which does make me wonder, is it really the 10,000 steps, or is it just these people are getting their zone 2 in, which we know is linked to longevity, and if they're doing it at a faster pace, they're getting more to that hit. VO2 max was also longevity, so the wheels started spinning. Also, let's talk the limitations of the study. The healthy person bias. This is why studies are great, but the reality is they're really biased in the health sphere because, let's give for example, is it the 10,000 steps that made the people healthy? Or do healthy people typically walk 10,000 steps or more because they're active? Just like nutrition studies, here's a big problem with them. Is it that they're eating healthy, or is it that healthy people work out more? And then with workout studies, is it the working out, or is it those people that work out are more likely to eat healthy? And this will always be an issue with the meta-analysis of there's very few people that just do one healthy habit. It's kind of you're doing it all. And you're screwing up studies. How dare you? How dare you, Melissa, be well-rounded? Week 2, I did not learn from week 1 to be grateful for my body, the ability to move. I was once again mopey-ropey. No one cares, Kelty. Oh, poor influencers walking 30,000 steps. She's so sad. Her life's so... No one cares. Get your act together. I need to have perspective. I need to remember I'm out here to win. Competition is the real meaning of life, and this will make me happy. Maybe not. The amount of rain. The amount of rain. There's a moment of no rain, no umbrella. Oh, I am not going to ever take it for advantage of just walking without an umbrella again. Let's be real. The best way to get your steps in is shopping. And this video is all about debunking if you can replace your cardio with steps. Therefore, this video is just seeing if shopping is indeed the best form of cardio. Just to mix it up, it's raining! Oh, God. A review of my On Cloud walking running shoes. I love these. I can easily walk like 20-30K steps in these, no problem. Only problem, the waterproofness only lasts about a year. I think this is my 2nd or 3rd year with them, and they only last about an hour, and then my feet get wet. But the first year of them, can just walk in puddles. They're by far like one of my favorite waterproof sneakers. My only complaint is they're like uber sporty. Fine with a pair of leggings, but when I have to occasionally wear it with jeans, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. They're just, it's not the look. Oh, and they're uber squeaky. So if you're walking around the rain and then you walk in the mall, everyone will stare at you because it's like squeak, 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 squeak.
be 100% honest, I completely fell off during these few days. I got the worst news of my entire life. I flew to Sweden, and honestly, these 72 hours were a complete blur. I don't know how many steps. Obviously, I do, but I was in pure survival mode. I made it through. I made it too, and let's get back on this challenge. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I've been a downer. The first 2 weeks, it was seasonal depression at its peak. It was the end of like, I just don't know happiness anymore. I was bitter. I was angry. And then I went through the hardest 72 hours of my life. And you know what? I've been nothing but negativity. You don't come on this channel for negativity. And then I was reminding myself, like, how lucky I am to have legs to walk as much as I want. Like how able-bodied I am, how healthy I am, that I can just walk 30,000 steps. Like I need to get my mind back. I need to have some fun, enjoyment. So I'm reframing this. This is not a chore. This is not painful. This is like pure enjoyment, fun. So we're gonna make this fun. So for this, I thought for shits and giggles for the last half of this challenge, every single day I'm going to test out a new pair of sneakers to see which sneakers can handle 30,000 steps. So when you're all vacation in summertime this summer, you know what sneakers are going to be able to survive 30,000 steps. Because that's really the only ever time I do 30,000 steps is like traveling, like in Barcelona. And I'm just like, why would I drive anywhere? I could just look up at the sky and the beauty of it. So I'm going to try and use that power. Pretend I'm traveling right now. Testing sneakers for you guys. Fun! Change the mindset, positive attitude. Toning and losing muscles. So, can walking really tone you up? Or are you just gonna lose all your muscle? The cool thing about gaining muscle is even if you don't see it in the mirror, if you don't see it on the scale, you know if you're gaining muscle from two things, as long as you're progressive overloading. So that means every week lifting a bit more. You can lift more sets, more reps, or more weights. You can take a 10-pound dumbbell, lift a 12 the next week. As long as you're progressive overloading and eating enough calories, specifically protein, you will gain muscle, gain strength. The only time you wouldn't is if you're not progressive overloading or you're not fueling adequately. And this is why running can make you lose muscles, is a lot of us are busy. There's only so many hours you have in a week to work out. And sometimes you get into running, you have all this running you're doing, you lower back on weights. And so as soon as you start lowering back on weights, you're not maintaining the muscle you've built and you're not building more. And so yeah, you'll begin to lose muscle, but it's not because of the running, it's just the running taking place of the weightlifting. This also is the same with walking. If suddenly you were doing a certain amount of weightlifting and then you swap some of that weightlifting to get in more steps, you could lose some muscle. If you're not fueling enough because you're walking more, you're burning more calories, so you're eating in a deficit, you could lose muscle. That's one reason a lot of runners specifically do struggle to maintain their muscles. It's just like they're eating more, they're burning more calories. It's also tough to just fuel yourself properly when you have a really high energy expenditure, especially if you're just someone who's an average Joe like myself, who isn't a professional athlete and only has so many hours in a day to recover. That being said, walking, if you're an untrained individual, you're new into fitness, you can actually get some muscle growth from walking, from body weight exercises, because you are moving weights, like your body weighs stuff. So just walking engages your glute muscles, your hamstrings, your quads, your calves, so you can definitely gain some muscle. Just realize that progressive overload will be very limited from walking because you'll kind of max it out pretty fast. And that's the great thing about weights, is there's like affinity progressive overload, but with like body weight exercise, kind of you gain the muscle from your body weight and then you plateau pretty fast. So you'll get some, but then you'll plateau and you need more weight. Day 16, could be 17, I can't remember. We're gonna test the Onsuko Tiger Mexico 66 to see if they can handle 30K. The Mexico 66s are cute. The problem is they're still a flat shoe, and I noticed for me, I can't do a flat shoe. Some people can do a flat shoe. I just need a bit more cushioning, especially when I'm doing 30,000 steps. Otherwise I get shin splints and yeah, just stepping on rocks. The Mexico 66s are way more comfier than the Sambas. Like it's night and day. But I'm at 15,000 steps and my shins are on fire. I noticed really flat shoes, I only can do about 15K. So I'm gonna swap these out. So Sambas tap out at 10, Mexico 66, 15,000 steps.
Today, I'm starting off with just going for a run as long as I can. Honestly, that's my favorite way to trade for distance. It's really not scientific, but I just enjoy it. I'm like, let's see how far I can go today. I'm about 4K in right now, feeling good. Sometimes I stop for a coffee, and yeah, so we'll see how many of the 30K steps we can get done on this run.
I've been dreading this day. the day we test if Sambas can go 30,000 steps. These are my least favorite shoes. The shin splints. The Sambas, we knew how this was going. They don't cause blisters once they're built in. And yeah, it's just sore feet. I could do it. So after 18,000 steps, my feet were hurting so much. I'm like, just get rid of these. This is where they tap out. Don't walk over 15,000. Do not walk over 15K steps in a Samba. I'm switching to my Lulus. I can't take another step in those Sambas. New Balance 530s are good. You can do 30,000 steps. I've done it. I'm just going to give a warning. They look more practical than they are. They're kind of a catfish. They look like their most practical shoe that you're buying for the practicality. It's actually a bit more the look. They're okay comfort-wise, and they break down pretty darn fast. So you can do 30,000 steps, but you'd be shocked they're not the best. Today I'm going to test if the Aloe recovery shoes can last 30,000 steps. I guess recovery days you wouldn't be walking a lot, but maybe... They smell like Payless shoes, gonna be honest. Okay, the Aloe shoes, I'm so confused by. Like, they're hard on the outside, they're kind of clunky, but they're so comfy. Like, they're cushiony in the inside. I feel like a squishy version of Air Force Ones. But I'm not gonna lie, they look like sim shoes. Like, if I was a Gemmoji, this is the shoe Apple would create for me. So I expected more from Aloe. Like, they're just, I think this is one of those Aloe things that they were being convinced is cute because of Instagram, and in reality, I look kind of dumb. I am genuinely shocked. The Aloe shoes, easy 30K. I could keep going. They look so dumb, but they're so comfy. So yeah, you'll probably see me wearing these. Now, it's all great, 10,000 steps, but how'd you get it when you have a desk job or you're a university student? Here's some little tips to get more walking and steps in your day. 1, fit in a walk before work. Not sexy, especially on a rest day where you're not at the gym, throw on a walk instead. 2, take a walk on your lunch break. 3, meet up with friends, grab a coffee and yap while walking. 4, the best, get a dog. 5, take the stairs instead of the escalator or the elevator. You know, it adds up. 6, I hate that I'm gonna say this because I hated my mother from doing this to me as a child, but here I am saying it to the internet. The irony is park as far away as possible. Yeah. At Costco parking lot, you won't have to deal with like waiting around for a spot. Just find one far away and get your steps in. You'll probably get there faster. 7, get a walking pad if you have a desk job. If your job allows it, it is an option. 8, start a weekend tradition with your friends or a loved ones or something instead of just like going out for dinner or anything. Like meet up every Saturday or Sunday to go for a walk, or of course you can run too, because you can get your steps in running as well. 9, if you have the ability, walk to work or school. I am apologizing to anyone. I don't want to even bring awareness to these shoes because of the price tag. These are the Chanel of sneakers. They are so comfortable. They're practical. You can dress them up. You can dress them down. I've dreamed of getting a pair of these. And so now I justify buying shoes because I say it's a business expense because I review them over on TikTok. And this is what I did. Would I normally buy these? Probably not for this price. But for the video, I'm just going to be transparent. If you have the money for the APLs, your feet will be so happy. They're so comfortable. But it's absurd to think to buy this much for a pair of shoes. And this is why this video has a sponsor. Aloha. Ahola? I don't know how to actually say this brand, but I've been seeing it all over Instagram. It is one of those brands that you put it in a shopping cart once and it will haunt you for years to come. And so I just finally got broken down by Instagram ads and bought these. And honestly, I'm sad.
Full confession, I'm hating these shoes. They're really uncomfortable. And the whole point of wearing sneakers is they're comfy. I'm not wearing them because they're the cutest things. If I wanted to look my absolute cutest, I'd wear a pair of 4-inch heels every day. But no, I need practicality. These are not comfortable. Give me a pair of loafers, boots, heels. I'll take that over these.
My feet hurt so much the next day. I had calf cramps in the middle of the night the day after wearing these, and I blamed the shoes. My calves were just so tight, but my God, these are the cutest shoes. These are art, these aren't shoes. Hokas. Hokas? What is it? Hokas. Either way, I'm going to say the problem with Hokas. They are so comfortable. I know I was going to breeze by this day. This is going to be easy. The problem with them is they're so cushiony, which is why they're great for some people. People who need a super cushiony shoe will love these. But the problem is because they're so cushioned. Any other shoe, once you aren't wearing them, is miserable. And it's not really a good thing. Like, for example, my On Clouds feel hard as rock after wearing a pair of Hokas. But my On Clouds are comfortable. They're great for your foot. So it's kind of like, it's slippery slope. Once you start wearing Hokas, and they're not that cute. I'm going to be honest, wearing them with jeans, not cute. Hokey. Hokas are hokey. And yeah, I'm just going to say it. They're comfortable. They're cute. If you have a pair, you know you love them. But just be warned, it's a slippery slope.
Speaking of which, on Cloud Rogers, these are a great example. I love these. I can walk 30K easily in these. I've walked 40K in Paris with them. But if I'm wearing shoes like Hoka's and then I go to these, they feel hard. But after like an hour of them warming up and then a couple days of them, I find them comfortable. So it's not that they're uncomfy, but in comparison to a super cushiony shoe, they are stiffer. And that's kind of on Clouds in general. But I find like once you're wearing them daily, you love it. Dare I say, the best shoe of all, Lululemon. Lulu nailed this. If you didn't know, Lululemon used like 10,000 women to design their shoes. And this is why I'm also love Lululemon shoes, is because they were designed for women. Now they sell them for men, but most running shoes are developed for men. They're not specifically developed for women or our own unique needs. Like, just think our hips are different than men's. Like, so obviously our running forms can be different. And they're so comfortable. Every day I see those shoes glaring at me and I'm like, those are not that cute. They're cute with a pair of leggings. I wear them with jeans and I hate myself when I do it. But my God, they're so comfortable. When they're on your feet, they're worth every penny. They just look a little like Sim shoes as well. Now, is there magic though, actually, behind the 10,000 steps and making 30,000 steps better? According to Dr. L-Min Lee, the professor in the Department of Epidemiology at the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health, Dr. Lee's research on older women over the age of 72 found significant health benefits at levels far below 10,000 steps. Specifically, mortality rates decreased with increased steps, but only up till a certain point. The direct quote, those who took 3,000 steps had a lower death rate than those who took 2,000. If you did 4,000, you're better off than those who did 3,000. So very simply put, some stepping was good, more steps were better. But the benefits seem to level off by 7,500. So if you're only taking 2,000, you bump it to 3,000, that's a benefit. But around 7,500 for this population, it leveled out. There was actually no lower death rates from 10,000 steps or 7,500. But the point of this varied by age. Individuals 60 and older, it was between 6,000 and 8,000 steps, while those younger than 60, the benefits were actually between 8,000 and 10,000. And in Dr. Lee's study, she didn't find any benefits from a different pace, so going faster having any benefits, but she admits that's what she found in her study, but she's seen other studies where it does impact. So she's just aware of like, in this population, it doesn't seem to make an impact, but in other times they have seen that. And one thing, just me using a little quick meta-analysis, is I do wonder, what is the 10,000 steps actually? Like, is it someone getting their zone 2 in? And elevated heart rate, maybe even a little bit of HIIT. They're going uphill with rucking, like those zone 2 VO2 max, which a lot of people link to longevity, is their walking doing that. So that's where the pace is better, because you're getting your zone 2 in as well. But at the same time, I always wonder if the things level off, because what are you replacing? Like, you're moving more sedentary, you're getting a bit of your cardio, but about 10,000 steps is an hour and a half-ish, sometimes 2 hours of walking. So we only have so many hours in a day, and if you can't walk at work, I do wonder how often going above 10,000 is detrimental or not beneficial, just simply because you have to take out other things that are more guaranteed to help with longevity. Like, you're not gonna have time for sauna, you're not gonna have time for VO2 max training, you're not going to have time for weight training, social time. Like, social is really good. You're not going to have time to meditate, work on your mental health. Like, if you're walking more, I don't think it's necessarily harmful as long as you're recovering. This is my just opinion. There's no science behind this specifically, but just me reading all the science. I do wonder if the problem is just taking away from other things that are more guaranteed to help you.
My cloud monsters, I love these. I know I can do it, but I would not recommend walking in running shoes. First, because you wear your running shoes faster. And second, this is a great example. The On Cloud Monsters are a really forward rolling shoe. If you've ever ran in them, you do feel like you're kind of almost rocking forward is the feeling I would give, and which you don't want walking. It's fine, it's not the end of the world, but it's like they're designed to run in. So I know these will pass today, but like it just feels wrong.
And the Gazelles. Honestly, they're very similar to Sambas. I kind of find them comfier, even though they're harder. They're just like a stiffer leather, this pair, but you can also get them in suedes and all that. I don't know. They're similar to the Sambas. They're so cute. I love this. The colorway, it's a vibe. But honestly, these, considering how cute they are, I never grab, because those Lululemons are sitting right beside them. And yeah, they're not as cute, but my God, I'm so much happier. If I'm walking under 10,000 steps, just shopping, they're a perfect shopping shoe. But if I'm actually putting in the miles, nope, don't want these on my feet. Before we dive into the reason you came to see who won, the benefits I had, here's just some final thoughts I have for you.
and specifically if you should do 10,000 steps a day. First, if you're going to, gradually increase. From the Mayo Clinic, they advise finding a baseline of where you are right now. You can look on your phone if you don't have an Apple Watch. A lot of phones just track it. You just have to make sure it's in your pocket and gradually increase. Try increasing by 500, 1,000 steps. You know, if you're only taking 2,000, try 2,500 or 3,000 for a week or two, and then up it from there. It's a lot more beneficial than upping it too much and injuring yourself. There's nothing that's going to set you back more than being injured. Now, can it replace cardio? Any activity is better than no activity. So if it's between walking and being sedentary, walking is going to be beneficial. But can it replace your cardio? It depends. If you are getting that zone 2, 150 to 180 minutes, which people like Peter Attia recommend, I think it definitely could, especially if you're doing something like rucking, you got weights in a backpack. If you do a weighted vest, if you're doing uphill, if you're doing fast paces, for a lot of people, it will. But the funny thing about cardio is the better shape you get in, the harder you have to push yourself to maintain those heart rate zones. So I think for a lot of people, it can be in that zone 2, but then you're gonna have to increase in some way the intensity to make sure it's still in zone 2. And according to the US Department of Health and Human Services, they recommend 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise a week. So if walking does that for you, it can replace it. If it doesn't, it won't be replaceable. So it's just really, is it moderately intense for you? And moderate intensity you could describe as about zone 2. Next thing, further studies. I'm very excited. The reality is there's a lot of studies, but it's not concrete. You can find so many conflicting things. So it's not one of those things to say like, you need to breathe to live, you need to sleep. There's a few things in science that we could say full-heartedly we all need to do, and 10,000 steps isn't one of them. But I'm very excited in 20, 30 years because of things like Oura rings and Apple Watches. In 20, 30 years, they're gonna have so much data about steps. It's gonna be crazy. They're going to be able to link so much because they all own our data. And that's actually one of the reasons I love Apple is I just see the direction Apple's going. This is not an ad for Apple, but I see the direction they're going with Apple Health is they down the road want it to be, you know, you just give it to your doctor and you have all your health. And so that's why I kind of like it. That, you know, yeah, they've had my data for 10 years, but in, 10 more, they're gonna have 20 years of my data, and then I give it to a doctor and they're gonna be able to link it to a bunch of things. And then that frightens a lot of people. So it all depends on your data preferences. I guess mine is take it. Not really. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. Another thing, I think 10,000 steps works because it's a nice number. It's doable for a lot of people. It's about 1.5 hours of movement in a day, slow movement. Most people can do it and they're saying so satisfying. So I think if it was all 17 or it was 7, I don't think we'd do it as much. There's something about it being just 10,000 is so satisfying and doable, which allows adherence, which is the most important thing to anything in fitness and health and wellness. It's just adherence. I know I contradicted myself in terms of pace, how fast or slow you can go. Just realize there's conflicting things. This is one of those things in science and wellness in the health world that like you can find places that will support it and places that won't. Just realize I don't think there's harm in either way. It's just not one of those black and white health and wellness things. It's one of those like, there seems promising that like the faster pace means more zone 2, which means longevity, but it's not like boom, 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 black and white. Unless you fully just want to believe one study over the other, and then that's on you. Which leads me to my next further recommendation is self-study. There's going to be 3 kinds of people. 1, you're someone who's already active. You're getting your zone 2, you're getting your VO2 max training, you're getting your weight, you're doing it all, and you only get 4,000 steps a day. You're probably okay. You're getting everything out. You're good. Keep up the work. You're doing it. Check. This is another thing you need to stress out, but you can do a self-experiment. If you're only getting 4,000 steps, try 5, try 6, and see if your workouts start to suffer. I'd say it's not worth it. It's not worth sacrificing your weight training or your VO2 max or your zone 2 or anything like that for walking, because there just seems to be more direct connections to your health and wellness with those other ones. So if you're doing those, don't replace it, but you can try. And just as long as you're recovering enough, see, just, for a couple weeks, try 5, try 6. And then, yeah, there just really isn't any study over 10,000. So why do that? Just make yourself your own study. Write how you feel, write how you recover, go from there. Second person, you're very sedentary and you really struggle to lose weight. When you have a sedentary life, your energy expenditure is just very low. So weight loss is very challenging because you just don't have as much to work with. Like if you're only burning 1,400 calories a day and you have to be in a calorie deficit for your health to lose weight because that's going to make you your healthiest version, that is really hard because then you're like, there's not much wiggle room. Versus if you just walk a little bit more, it's completely free. You're burning a few more calories. There's other health benefits as well, but it's just going to also increase your energy expenditure. So I think for sedentary people who are really struggling with weight loss, walking is a really cost-efficient, low impact, low intimidation way to improve your energy expenditure, which means, yes, boost your metabolism, because that's the dumbest That's a whole video itself. Boost your metabolism. But yes, moving more is increasing calories burned, aka energy expenditure, aka boost your metabolism. But it's not like you're just sitting there like there's this furnace burning more because you walk. Yeah, I'm not gonna go off topic. And the third kind of person, you're just a psychopath like me that occasionally just likes to do wacky challenges and your family challenges it to you. And I don't know, maybe it's the ex-athlete in me that has no competitive outlet anymore. So occasionally I got to do these challenges just to feel something. And then I do it after and say, that was a complete waste of time. I did not need to do that, but here we are. I did it. And then next month I'll try something else because that makes me fulfilled and happy. How did we get here? How do I get out? I used to be an athlete and now I'm doing 30,000 steps against my mother. Anyways, 'tis is life. So sometimes challenge yourself, but also when you do those crazy challenges, make sure it doesn't become a way of life because you could be like me and suddenly you're 400 days in a running streak and you're like, why am I doing this? So if you're a really addictive personality, maybe stay away from the step challenges because before you know it, you're doing 30 and then it becomes 40 and then it becomes 50 and then you're just walking and you gotta pay your bills. And you gotta have a social relationship. And if your walking is getting in the way of your social relationships and your weight training and all that, it is not good for you. Because at the end of the day, that is also the biggest thing is I think 10,000 steps seems to be great. Anything above it doesn't seem to be that beneficial. And you could take those hours of your day and do something that's a lot more beneficial for your health and wellness. So it's just, we only have so many hours in a day, unless you're a mailman. Actually, if you're a mailman or mail woman, comment down below. How many steps do you get a day? I'd be intrigued. Which leads me to, who won this challenge? It is the moment you've been waiting for. The results of the sneakers and the results of the competition. In second place, I'm not going to list it off, with 496,855, Marjorie O'Connor, my mother, who I was determined to beat, and me, with a total of 987,146. I way over anticipated. That's how crazy 30,000 steps is. And also I have to confess, or actually I'll do the confession after. I'm going to rank the shoes for you guys. 4 categories. First, the best for pure comfort enjoyment. Lululemon, hands down. The only downfall about them is like they're sim shoes. They don't look good with jeans. 2, the absolute worst. Sambas, burn in hell. 10,000 steps shoe max. 3, the best comfort that is more athleisure that you can wear with jeans, the Nike Vomeros. They're super comfy. The Lulus are comfier, but you can wear these with jeans. 4, the absolute best, no price APLs. Oh my God, those are the best. And they don't really look good with jeans, in my opinion. That, you know what I mean? They look very athleisurely, but with like a tennis skirt, leggings, shorts, oh my God, they're so comfortable. But price-wise, oh my God. So the confession, I missed 2 days in this challenge, actually 3 of the 30,000. So I decided to do a whole extra week of 30K. As seen here, here's all my Apple things to see, just really do this challenge. And I don't want to say why I missed it. I will talk about it in maybe a month or so. It's very depressing. And once you hear it, you'll be like, oh yeah, Kelty, the facts. Yeah, that's valid. Just know, I know this is valid. I know this is a valid reason. But now here is also the hardest part about the challenge, and something I will warn anyone with steps, is it's kind of easy now. In the sense of, I have my routine. I do my hour walk in the morning or run, and then I commute to work. During my lunch break, I take a walk. Anytime someone wants to call me a meeting, I'm out walking on the phone call. I walk after work. And so, yeah, I have it dialed in. And now I have to stop. And this happened with the run straight and this slippery slope with increasing your step goal. This is also encouraging. Once you get it into part of your routine, it just kind of happens and you kind of naturally settle into whatever steps you're taking. This might be 5, 10, 15, 20, but right now it is not optimal for my life to be walking 30,000 steps a day. I should be weight training. I should be recovering. I should just be doing my taxes. Like there's so much better use because I'm not getting any health benefits at 30 that I want to get at 20. And I don't have time to do my VO2 max training. I don't have as much time to do weight training. I don't have as much time to stretch. I'm just walking. So, just warning, right now it is hard for me. Today, I want to go do 30,000 steps. It's just like ingrained. It's satisfying. Now, I know this won't relate to anyone, but something not a lot of people talk about in the fitness industry of like the addictive side of it. When you go to the extremes and you just get better and better and better. And sometimes you just have to check in with yourself. Like, yeah, I do 25,000 steps a day. And I miss my weight training a lot. And this is me. This is me as someone who did a 400-day run streak because I just couldn't stop. So today, I will not do 30,000 steps. I proclaim to no one. And then finally, will I be sticking to this long term? Absolutely not. Who has time? No, I've got way better use of my time than just walking. Unless my family challenges me again, and then yes, I will win. I will win at all costs for a real irrelevant trophy because competitiveness. Because I don't have sports anymore. Washed up athlete. We will take anything to make it a game and make it competitive to scratch our itch. Could I work at that in therapy? Probably, but I'll just walk. Just kidding. I'm just a sucker for a challenge. You guys know the best way to get steps in is either actually run over children. Oh my God. Run after children or get a dog so you can pet a dog. Have a great day. Go pet a dog. Love you guys. Bye.